no. I know. But you're not giggly tonight. Like, you're all...
I'm trying real fucking hard.
No, I know, but I keep turning to you and you're like, can't get it right.
That's because I'm like...
Get it right.
on the inside.
I'm just trying to figure out what to say. G'day, you beautiful bastards, and welcome back to 2c3pod's weekly YouTube review segment. My name is Mitchell, along with
Dylan!
That's right, and we've had a little bit of a hiatus. Happy holidays to you and your family. We hope you are doing well. But the podcast will be back in a number of 3 weeks, and we will be back filming live. Where are we going to be filming live, Dylan?
We're going to be filming our podcast live for 2021 exclusively on twitch.tv/2c3pod.
Exactly, simple as that, and you will find that not only live every week, but there is a podcast as well. All links are down below. You can find them wherever you need podcasts. But what you have joined us here for is our weekly YouTube review segment, which is called 2c3pod DTCR
Does the Cinema.
That's right. So normally in the podcast, which we do each week, we pick a film to go and see in cinemas.
That's right.
And that is what we have done over this little bit of a break that we've had. We're still going to the cinema, so we're still going to give you some reviews coming up over the next few weeks while we gear up for a brand new season of the podcast.
That's right. The season of the podcast.
Season,
I like that.
Exactly. That's right. It's time for season... Oh, God knows. It's been a long time. Yeah. But anyway, before we do that, though, this is DTCR, which comes along with some pretty fucking catchy music. So slap the button and let's do it! First one for 2021, Dylan. Let's get it!
Coming at you fresh, coming from afar, it's 2c3pod DTCR. That's right,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
Does the Cinema.
That's
anyway,
right.
as Mitchell just said, we've both seen some films over this Christmas period. We hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And fingers crossed for 2021. We've got a wonderful year ahead, whether it's cinema, film, gaming, personal life.
I was going to say.
All of the jazz.
Yes, absolutely.
2021 is going to be, as the kids say, lit.
Oh.
Anyway, the first review off the cab of the rank this week, which you can see in the thumbnail and title,
exactly,
is Wonder Woman 1984, which did premiere on Boxing Day, I believe it was. And I got to see that one. You didn't see Wonder Woman?
I did not. I do not want to.
That's absolutely
just personal choice.
That's absolutely expected. So,
Yes.
Wonder Woman 1984 is the obviously sequel to the 2017 Wonder Woman film. The first...
1983?
Wow, that went straight over my head.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was like,
you still
was there
don't get
a
it?
film in 1983?
Oh, no.
Because my next sentence was the first live-action cinematic adaptation.
Oh, okay.
And you said 1983. I was like,
What?
what?
No.
Anyway,
It's a numbers joke.
back on track. Yes,
Yes.
from 2017, but that was set in like the 1940-something rathers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Well,
who
there
the
you
fuck
go.
knows when
Exactly.
those movies were made?
I did not know.
Anyway, sequel obviously starring Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman,
course,
Kristen
of course.
Wiig as Cheetah, as well as Pedro Pascal and Robin Wright and Connie Nielsen.
Not only that, isn't Mr. Christopher Pine all over that trailer?
As, of course, yes. So
Yes.
Christopher Pine does make a return in this film in a not so but also surprising way.
Okay.
Without spoiling too much of the film, it does make sense, but it's kind of weird. The plot in this film is kind of weird, and it seems to me that from the release of this film,
Yes.
I'm the only person on planet Earth who seems to be enjoying this.
Oh, wow. Okay. I have only heard negative things. So, hey, spin some of that positive light on 2021.
Well, the thing that I like about this so much is that the opening scene sets the idea that, you know, it throws back to Themyscira, a young Wonder Woman in like some kind of Olympic event.
I've seen that little girl in the trailer in like the Gladiator Stadium.
Essentially, that's the opening scene. And that's the only time you see it. But that story in that particular moment is representing how you cannot cheat to achieve true success.
Oh, okay, all right.
And that theme carries out throughout the entire film with the main antagonist being Pedro Pascal and his motives.
Yeah.
But people don't seem to realize that.
Oh, okay.
But then the first introductory scene of Wonder Woman in this modern day of 1984, she's like stopping some robbers in like a shopping center.
Yeah.
And that scene feels ripped straight out of like a Superman 1984 film.
Okay.
Like it feels
it
feels like a cheesy Superman 2 film.
Nice.
And that to me, I was grinning from ear to ear. I was like, there's a little kid in the crowd in the film, and she's like smiling and giggling because Wonder Woman's kicking ass.
And that was you.
And and I was like, this is great. And then the rest of the film, it doesn't really live up to that. But that's where its problems begin.
Okay.
That in terms of narratively, it's a bit messy. Some of the dialogue's a bit weird. And Kristen Wiig's character, I love Kristen Wiig. She's fantastic. Bridesmaids, whatever. Like Ghostbusters 2016, if you want to consider that one. But she's fantastic. And as a comedic actress, she hits her nail on the head.
Okay, right.
But-
so is her role comedic throughout?
No.
Okay.
Her role essentially is... Well, okay, so to spoil it a little bit, but everybody's seen it by now... essentially, Pedro Pascal's character he's the CEO of a almost fraudulent oil company called Black Gold Enterprises.
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever.
Okay.
And he's trying to make his fortune by cheating his way there.
Ah.
They discover this particular artifact, which was built by ancient gods. They don't say who, which grants wishes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And essentially, Kristen Wiig's character is a carbon copy of Jamie Foxx's character in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay, Electro?
He's a loser dork who comes to work for a fancy building.
Okay, yeah.
And work in like a science lab, essentially. He gets his shit kicked around by everybody.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he gains this power that makes him super cool and sexy and buff and able to kick ass along.
Yeah,
That's exactly what this character is.
Okay.
But in saying that, although it really didn't fit the narrative, she was kind of just there to be there. I didn't have a problem with it because it was fun.
Yeah.
And that's all the movie needs to be.
Yeah. So,
I had fun with this movie.
It was serviceable for its purpose.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah. As a straight up sequel, I think people are expecting more from the Warner Brothers DC side of things after Aquaman and Joker and things like that.
Yeah.
But this film doesn't carry the Wonder Woman legacy as heavy or as well as the first film.
Yeah, okay.
The first film was like in a league of its own.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
Essentially, with Pedro Pascal, he comes across this stone thing that grants wishes, and he uses that stone throughout the film to grant his success. But that just builds and builds and builds and starts causing havoc across planet Earth.
Yeah, right.
And it's up to Wonder Woman to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
But the lesson here is you can't cheat your way there. What are you doing to your loved ones? And that's how the whole thing sort of wraps up. So what I really liked about this film is that, yes, there was a great sort of action sequence at the beginning that was very reminiscent of classic superhero films, which I fucking loved.
Yep.
And then towards the end, there was a few CGI battles which are kind of dumb, whatever, but they wrapped up the story.
Of course, yeah.
The whole middle of the film was maybe 10% Wonder Woman, 90% Diana Prince and Chris Pine's character. It was an investigative film about how the fuck do we deal with this thing.
Yeah, right.
And it was more telling the story of those two, you know,
Did
on
it
their
still
adventure.
feel like an 80s film in that time?
There was some cinematic elements that made me feel like that's what they were going for, but fundamentally they got the set right and the costumes and the clothes.
Of course.
That's what they got right. But in terms of feeling like an 80s film,
it started to feel a bit more modern.
Yeah. Which I mean, I would imagine it's hard to replicate that without actually filming on film.
Absolutely, of
and
course.
not cleaning it up. You know?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but overall though, it was good, bad, great.
Overall, I had a good time with this. I
yeah.
understand the complaints people had. Chris Pine's character and the reason for him to be there kind of strange, but I won't spoil that for you.
No, I was gonna say I haven't seen the first one. I know nothing of this storyline or anything like that, but I did get explained in depth what happened with him, and I'm like,
oh really?
How does that even make sense? Like, as in, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I know nothing about it, but it sounded stupid to me.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil it for everybody then.
Oh shit! All right, here we go.
The Wish Stone.
Yeah.
As soon as Diana Prince comes across this thing, she doesn't believe that it does the thing. She was like, this looks like a fake.
Sorry, can I just pause for 1 second? Diana Prince, is that a joke?
No, that's her name. Like, that's her.
Why would they do that? Diana Prince? Princess Diana?
I'd never noticed that.
As soon as you said it, I was like,
I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman has existed a lot longer than Princess Diana.
Nah, I don't know, man.
Because Superman came out in like the 30s.
I don't know, man. Yeah, exactly. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's just, wow, there you go.
So, anyway, they can't change it. They have to change it.
So, they get the monkey paw.
Anyway, they get the monkey paw. Yes, of course. And this thing grants wishes, but she doesn't really believe it.
Okay.
The first wish that Kristen Wiig's character thinks of when she stumbles upon it, she wants to be like Diana Prince, this sexy, tough woman. Throughout the film, she then starts gaining her powers. That's how she gets all sexy and strong.
Yeah, so slow burn wish.
Slow burn wish. Wonder Woman's character, on the other hand, she wishes for
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine's character. What's his name? Steve Trevor. To return.
Yeah.
And that's how he returns. But it's weird because, spoiler alert, he returns in the body of another random dude who happens to live in the same city. So
his soul returns.
Sort of.
His person.
So we see him as Chris Pine.
And she sees him as Chris Pine?
No, the universe and she sees him as the dude.
Wait, what?
Who's handsome enough as it is.
So why is Chris Pine in this movie then?
Because that's representing Steve
No,
Trevor.
but what? The audience is that stupid that they need to see Chris Pine to go, oh.
And here's the problem that people have with the film.
Yeah,
like they could have just made.
That's pretty insulting.
Yeah.
To the audience. Be like, hey, you don't understand, but she wished him back to life. But it's not him in another body, so he's Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's the thing. Like, that's
right.
what... There are a lot of fundamental plot flaws with this film.
Yeah.
But overall, I watch these movies to switch my brain off and
of
have
course.
fun with these characters that I admire. And I think as Wonder Woman, she fucking nails it.
Absolutely. Gal Gadot's fantastic.
I can't imagine anybody else doing this.
No, exactly. But I will just say, you said it was a popcorn flick that you can switch your brain off to.
Yeah.
Somebody like me with no idea about any of the storylines, would I be able to do that?
I think so, yes.
Yeah? Okay. There is enough like bombastic colours and action going on to occupy my brain and not go, I don't get it.
Pedro Pascal's character, even though he's the antagonist, he's hilarious.
Okay, right.
Like, he's just such a...
Man, isn't he on the fucking rise?
Oh, man, the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Mandalorian, and now he's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining.
Yeah, Mandalorian is fucking solid. And the fact that he acts with a suit on the whole time.
Yeah, right.
I remember when Joel Kinnaman played RoboCop in 2014.
Suit. James Bond does it all the time. Why is that impressive?
And Joel Kinnaman said it's hard to act with the robot suit and the visor on.
Yeah, of course.
And then Peter Weller and Michael Keaton from Batman were all like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Toughen up, motherfucker. You got the role. Enjoy it.
That's right.
Enjoy those paychecks.
Pedro Pascal can like act through a full Mandalorian costume.
Yeah.
And in this, he's ridiculous and I love it.
Yeah.
Although there are some dumb moments in this film plot-wise, the action I think was serviceable.
Yeah.
Some of the CGI... very reminiscent of like classic Superman, especially some of the action sequences as well. But I understand people's problems with it. But me personally, I really enjoyed this. So Wonder Woman 1984 gets a tick of approval for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What did you watch?
There was another film this week. That's right. No, exactly. So I had the absolute fucking privilege.
Fucking privilege.
You and I have spoken about on 2c3pod, weekly podcast, all links down below, of course, for many a moon about wanting to be able to see a good Australian film.
Keyword, good.
Exactly, that's right. Now, we had the privilege earlier this year to go and see Bloody Hell, which was an Australian cross-American production.
Fantastic.
But as far as good Australian films go, we'll grab onto that and say, yes, they did well. Bloody Hell is fantastic. Check out the review in one of the links below.
Yep.
But The Dry. Now, I got the opportunity to go and see a preview screening of this film before it came out on New Year's Day. Happy New Year, everybody. And I've got to say, this isn't just one of the best Australian films I've ever seen.
Yep.
It is the best Australian film I've ever seen. And not only that, it's probably my favourite film of the fucking year.
Jesus Christ.
Dead Set, The Dry.
Wait, hold on a minute. Is that like a New Year's Eve we're only 6 days into the year joke?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all, my friend. Okay. No, I'm talking 2020.
Oh, okay.
No, Dead Set, The Dry. Now, this film was directed and written by Robert Connolly, written for the screen. It was based off the novel by, I don't have the name there. Yes. But anyway, Robert Connolly. And, of course, this one is starring Genevieve O'Reilly, Eric Banner, of course, Sam Corlett, Bruce Spence, Kia O'Donnell, James Fletcherville, Matt Nable, and a lot of other Aussie actors you don't know who they are. Yeah. But The Dry is just such a fucking powerful story. Now, I'll give you a very brief synopsis about Eric Banner is a Metropolitan Police officer in Melbourne, and he grew up out in the suburbs. Now, back in the day, he and his close 3 friends, essentially, and one of them died. And he got accused of the murder of it, but there was no evidence of it. Right. So he and his father left town forever. Yep. Now, this is 30 years later. He goes back because the other guy friend that he had passed away. Not only passed away, kind of brutally murdered his wife and child and himself. Jesus. So a murder-suicide. So he's now a cop. So he goes back just for the funeral and that. And then the local townspeople are like, it's that fucking murderer, he's back. You know, like all that shit and stuff. But he gets persuaded to stick around and just kind of investigate what went on because things looked a bit shady with the murder-suicide. Yep. Now, I'm not going to get too much into it because this is worth not spoiling anything about this for, but there's about 3 or 4 different stories that are woven in there, all mixed together with a 30-year-old story in that. And I've never seen so many different convoluted lines about murder and mystery and who done it and basically like that. And it all perfectly gets wrapped up and you understand every inch of it.
Excellent.
Every inch of it. Nice. There is about 3 or 4 moments where there's a plot twist, there's a plot twist, there's a plot twist. And then after all of it, the 30-year mystery, the current mystery, all of this, along with something else you didn't even see coming, just gets revealed and you're like, hold on a moment. Yeah. So you get that all wrapped up with a nice little bow, that wrapped up with a nice little bow, a little surprise over there, and then it wraps up and it ends and you're like, shit, I get it.
That's
and you
cool.
get everything about the film. And it's brilliant.
Eat your heart out, Chris Nolan.
No, absolutely. Like that. No, that's the thing. I'm not going to go like try and compare those two, that's for sure, or any of his films to this. But this is just so fucking well done. Wow. This is the kind of film that I'm like, please, somebody fund this to get overseas so everybody can see this because this is Australian cinema at its fucking peak. Like, absolute best I've ever seen in an Australian film. I'm not going to say, like, compare it to, like, a cult classic like a Mad Max or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or an iconic horror film like Wolf Creek. This is its own beast. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the best Australian film that I've ever fucking seen.
Wow,
very good. I'm not going to stand there and debate with people about what they think the best Australian film is. But this, to me, is the best Australian film I've ever seen. And honestly, spoiler alert for our next YouTube video, it is probably the best movie of 2020.
Jesus Christ.
100%.
Okay, so you're talking this one up very high.
I can't talk it up enough. Like, as in, I've talked it up and I've had friends go and see it from it. My mum went and saw it the next day because of it, loved it just as much, told my aunts about it. My 2 aunts went and saw it. Like, friends of friends and word of mouth has just spread. And there's probably like 12 people that I know of have seen it because of word of mouth.
So have you
and everybody has come back and said, fucking A. Like,
have you earned commission yet?
No, I fucking wish, okay? Anybody involved with The Dry that happens to see this because we're reviewing it, I want to be a part of your shit. Yeah. Like, seriously, it was phenomenal. And Eric Bana.
Oh, dude has it.
The crazy thing is, you watch it and you kind of mock, like, hearing an Australian accent on the big screen, especially the Outback thing. But then all of a sudden you find yourself getting lost in it and you don't even realize that this is, like, set in the fucking Outback. It's cliche. We've made fun of it, like, so many times. No, not even the burbs. There is no burbs in this. There's, like, a brand new house built on a dusty fucking street with, like, empty vacant lots because nobody wants to build out there. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. And we've made fun of that before. But everything about this just felt so natural, real, and it had the perfect flow. And I can't talk it up enough. I'm sorry.
Good.
This the Dry, starring Eric Bana. It should be all over Australian cinemas right now. Any international listeners, please keep an eye out for this one coming to a service or an on-demand anything, because this film is fucking fantastic. I know we don't do out of 10s anymore, but this is a fucking 10 out of 10.
Wow, that's the first 10.
That is the first. I know. I hate.
Very difficult to give a 10 out of 10.
I hate giving a 10 out of 10. I always feel like, no, there's no such thing. This is fucking perfect.
Absolutely. Wow.
I can't speak enough.
Yeah. Well, that's an amazing review of one average film and one amazing film.
Yeah, no, dead set. I highly recommend it. And honestly, if we lose the fucking trivia, if I lose the trivia contest and I'm shouting you gold class, if you're up for it, I'm shouting you for this. I want to go and see it again.
Excellent. Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Well, if you want to check out our other reviews as well, links are all down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, and give us a little like there as well. That'll certainly help us out a little bit more.
That'll kick the year off right way. Anyway, but not only that, as we said, we are on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but come the back end of January, we are back at it. 2c3pod, weekly film, TV, and gaming podcast. Going to be a little bit more chit-chatty on the Twitch, but you can find the podcast at any podcast platform. All links are down below, but we have a cliche slogan, of course. Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. Big Summer Blowout.
Absolutely. Make sure to check out us out on Twitch as well. Make sure you hit that follow button there so you are notified when we do go live, because we will still do pre and post show banter, but now we will be interacting with you throughout the show. So if you want your input throughout every episode in 2021, providing everything goes well, definitely hit in there and get chatting.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. The whole format of our show is changing from the past, and we couldn't be more excited about it. Basically, we just found out that the pre-show and post-show banter was a hell of a lot. Like, we had so much fun doing that. We were like, fuck, we want that to be the show.
Yeah.
So that's what it's come down to. And,
So welcome to 2C3pod, an interactive film, TV, and gaming podcast / live show. We will see you there. Make sure you hit those follow buttons on all of those platforms. As always, my name is Dylan. Thank you for watching this video. And as always, with my co-host,
Mitchell. And do not forget, we are Two's Company, and you are the podcast.